Another shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Another shot is gonna hit you with a mind overloading on it. And the bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. So never everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking. Let's go.
Welcome to another Shot Podcast, where our opinions might be real, or it could just be the liquor talking. Sit back and enjoy another shot.
This is our Monday night bartender, and we're doing things just a little bit different tonight. We got some.
Is it me or is he frozen?
I think he's froze. That's what I was actually checking my signal just to make sure.
I should have just messaged him going like, just not move at all.
Well, while Bill's frozen, welcome to another Shot Podcast.
Oh, we're back.
And we're back.
Well, we never left.
You know, it's crazy. We get it going, and the first thing that happens is it drops. It hasn't dropped since we started using her computer, and then the very first one. I know it's the juxtaposition between the blue and the red that Dan's wearing tonight. I'm not going to say the word because everybody's going to say it at least 40 times tonight. But guys, this is our Monday night bartender. We're doing things a little different. I got my good friends, Arlis Walker of the Southern Outlaw Band, and Dan Lee, published author. What's going on, boys?
I'm doing great.
Doing good here.
Don't you love when people start, like, you know, the whole conversation like, so, how's things going? That's like most
worse.
Well, it's kind of like a pickup line when you're at the bar, you know, how you do it.
You come here often. What's your favorite pickup line, Dan? Come on, you're an author. You should be able to come up with one like spectacular.
It's always the simplest ones I always like having. Man, you must have hurt a lot. If they ask why, well, because you're a fallen angel, aren't you?
Wow.
Hey, Arlis, are you able to?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to record that for me?
No. I would. What do you want me to record?
That's
How you do it?
Oh.
Aunt Jen, we are doing really well. Thank you for joining in tonight. We finally got some stuff figured out, guys, so I can actually see everybody's comments now. Well, I can't say I figured it out. Kat got on there and did. My producer did the Lord's work today. Not only did she figure out the issue we didn't have with Facebook, she made my simple syrup, which I was kind enough to spill, and we had to alter flavor on one. And as you can see behind me,
No,
She
they
brought-
can't see it.
huh?
They can't see it.
They can't see it.
No.
So tonight at some point, we're going to do something a little different.
Massive watermelon.
So, Arlis, have you ever tried this before?
What, jungle juice?
Introducing liquor to the fruit.
Nah.
Not one time.
Never done that in a million years.
I mean, I'd understand, but I know it's too cold up there to grow beautiful little fruits like this. Dan's like, nope, I'm okay. We're good.
No.
I might have had a misguided youth.
I've tried it,
Alcohol
but I've
infused
never done it personally. So I'm kind of interested tonight in seeing how this works out. So I was talking about it before, and I went out and I bought 3 different liquors. So I'm thinking what I'm going to try and do is I am going to bore the holes, in the, put some holes in the top of it, just turn the bottles upside down, stick them there, and wait till they just kind of drain down in and see what happens. And
That's
he
my
suggested
favorite
that
Sorry.
nobody has a suggestion.
No, that's all we used to do.
Mhm.
You take a big, wedge out of the center, and then tilt the bottle, put the bottle in, and let it drain out, drain into the, the watermelon.
So did you
really?
when you put the holes in the top, did you go in and mess up the pulp and everything, or did you just start it up and let it go?
No, we just took the knife and went down, like 4-corner, make it, take like a big plug out of it, so it goes, making sure that it's down about halfway, into the middle of the melon. Take that plug out and then pour your bottle in.
There's a reason why I brought a clear bowl so that it could sit inside the bowl and not make a mess on the bar.
Okay, boss.
And they can still see what you're doing with it being a clear bowl.
So I guess let's get one thing out of the way here, gentlemen. First,
Well, us professionals, we've never made a mess, but we know how Bill is.
Bill doesn't give a shit. Bill just goes in.
Bill needs a bib.
Oh, actually, Bill, I got just a bit
There you
more.
go.
Actually. And where to go? Oh, here we go.
Seriously, you
Is
don't
that
have to
anything?
put it back out.
It's
If you
one
just
time
pull
different.
it cuts. There you go.
Don't ask why I got that.
Hey,
Yeah, we
Bill,
need to borrow that, Dan. Bill needs that.
Hi, Jan.
I should have wore my bow tie tonight. I know, right? There, I said it.
I
Arlis.
would
Hi,
say
Miss
I've never
Jan.
mind.
Yes, sir.
So, you got a new award. Is it official?
Yeah, we got that the announcement today from the World Songwriter Association. This will be our 4th one that we've gotten for Outlaws and Bikers. Well, first one for Outlaws and Bikers, but total 4 for us.
Gotcha. So, Outlaws and Bikers. So far, that's been the biggest one out of the 4 you just or the 3 you just recently released?
Well, we haven't released the other 2 yet.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Yeah. Although July. Okay. Kat, you might have to quote me on this because I know I posted it, but I can't remember. My brain's kind of mush right now. I think it's July 18th.
Yes.
All I Got Is Time and Beer will be released worldwide. And then the big anticipation will be the August 15th one that comes out as a tribute for our first responders, which will be End of Watch. But you guys got to hear that already.
Oh yeah. I may or may not have been there when it was being put together.
Yeah,
So
but you got to admit, yeah, and a big shout out to Mr. Dylan Cruz from Ninja Imaging. He did the final production on that, and I know you got to hear it being done in the studio, but what he did afterwards really brought a whole nother dimension and feeling to the song. So I'm very excited for when that does come out and people get a chance to hear the whole thing.
Now on to what? Go ahead, say it.
Can I have a piece of the watermelon before you put the alcohol?
A piece of the watermelon.
Just the pieces that you threw in the bowl. On the other
Oh,
side.
good Lord.
Turn it toward you.
I didn't realize this was going to be so much of a chore.
Actually, I'm just waiting for him to drop the watermelon.
Now that I will say I have done in the past. I was charged with taking it into the party, and there was already enough people there that I went to go and set it down, wasn't paying attention, and sure enough, it hit and everything just went completely sideways.
It's a very good watermelon. I'm really good at picking
So
watermelon.
then, tell us more about the book, brother. How are things going with it since you published it? When did you publish it, by the way?
Well, that's actually a very interesting story on that one. Originally, it was supposed to be coming. It was supposed to come out. My first book was supposed to come out on November 16th, which actually is my birthday. And unfortunately, though, when it came out that day, my publisher sent me an email saying, "Dan, we goofed up. You need to fix the cover of the book because apparently the cover of the book was a little too large." So I had to shrink everything back. That took me at least 3 tries for us to kind of go like, okay, nope, not good, not good. Perfect. Don't move it at all. You know what I do? I put the long run up again. So it's so the actual release date for it came out November 24th.
And have you been tracking it? How's it doing as of late?
I was doing pretty good, actually. I sold a few more books so far. So I got some really good reviews on Amazon. Nothing below 5 stars. So far, when I saw, like all my old reviews I got were 5 stars, and all of them were positive. And actually, speaking of Dylan Cruz, he is in the chat right now saying, "Dan, take a few shots. We gotta see you hammered." I am not taking a few shots because I do not want to get hammered because I gotta go over to my neighbor's house to watch the kids.
Well, that'll make it more interesting.
Well, true, but I don't think she would appreciate it if I go like, hey, let's play Spin the Baby.
Spin the baby.
Yeah, there you go.
So we were able to do this with a little bit of spill, but not too bad. So hopefully either before the end of the show or if you guys are able to get on my TikTok tonight, we will try the finished product.
No, you mean you'll try the finished product. We'll watch you eat it.
I'll drop it.
Which I don't think is fair, personally. What do you think, Kat?
What? What? I don't get to. You guys don't get to try it?
I will save
Yeah.
this. I'll bring it to you on Thursday.
Okay.
We'll sneak it in the back of her vehicle. Whoa, she got me on up close and personal.
Yes, I will fix that. I was making sure everybody could see what you were doing.
You want
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of bill.
You ain't seen nothing yet, brother.
We'll keep that for our imaginations. Actually, I didn't even want it for my imagination. Thank you very much, but still.
I mean, the fact that you're saying imagination, you know, it's now in your imagination. I don't know about all that. So let me get caught up here. Oh, Miss Jen, I wanted to eat some. We good?
I don't know.
So
I'm like phone control.
I don't know.
Yeah, they found me. They finally found me.
You didn't turn down that fucking music, did you?
Shit, if they came here, I'd just get them drunk. I don't care.
Mm.
Okay.
So the other fun part, Jan says, "Run, Arlis."
Yeah, I know.
So how's the? Have you guys got your jam sessions in? You ready for Thursday?
Oh yeah, we're ready for Thursday. Yeah, we had a lot of fun Saturday. It was hot. But
okay, so where were you Saturday? What was that?
It was the Mecca bike run.
yeah, that was the Mecca Memorial Run at the Hole in the Wall in Mecca, Ohio. And they raise money for a variety of local charities and for people that are in need, and they help out. They do a great job. You know, that whole community has always been about, you know, helping one another and being there for people. So yeah, it's a great cause. But yeah, there was a lot of people there. We had a good turnout. And yeah, like I said, it was very hot and humid, but it turned out to be a good show. We had a good time. Everybody had a good time with us, which makes it more important. We made a lot of them part of the show, which I think, you know, a lot of people don't do, but we try to do that as much as possible, incorporate, you know, who's there, you know, so they get to feel like they're part of the show and have a good time. I mean, you've been to our shows, you see what we do.
Well, see, out of the three of us that are on screen right now, only one of us hasn't got to see his show. So I was wondering, do you have anybody that might be going live? And are you only going to just do a handful of songs, or are you going to have somebody there to?
I think Sandy was talking about it. I know when we were supposed to play the last time when it got rained out, that one of them was going to go live on TikTok and one of them was going to go live on Facebook. So I think both will wind up being covered.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm sure another shot is going to go live at some point with some music. So it's definitely going to get out there. Dan, there's no way you're going to miss this show this time.
This show has caused.
Are you saying Jan or Dan?
I said Dan.
Just checking.
100 there, buddy. And hello, Miss Nancy. It's good to see you, girl. I got family on here now, so maybe I got to be a little bit behaved. I don't know.
You behave.
Never.
Joke.
I don't know. With so many, with your show going on so many different lives, dude, we might have to do a pay-per-view for you. That's what I'm thinking. A little PPV never hurt anybody.
We've done pay-per-view. Well, when we were in Nashville, that's what that was pay-per-view. When we were at Country Box.
Now, Dan, I'm going to be honest, Dan. I've been. So we got here a little early. Kat got here a little early, meaning 5 o'clock. So I was walking around the corner from shop today. She was already right there. The plan was to place some orders and get everything going. Your book is in the cart. I keep saying that. It will be here very, very soon. So how's the new book going?
Slowly. But it's still on track to be released in November. So I'm quite excited for that right there. And
So I'm
quite
assuming is it a continuation or is it just a different story with this kind of like how Narnia, the first 3 books were about the Pevensey kids, and then after that it started, kind of telling some backstories and filling in some holes, and so
yeah, no, this is actually a continuation. Actually, I planned this entire series to be 9 books long. It's actually a funny story about that one too. Actually, originally it was only supposed to be 8 books long, but then they changed to 9 books during my final edit for my first book. Reason being is because the 4th book within the series was originally intended to be a spin-off. And then I was thinking about myself, like, the spin-off really is in the year 2994. So there was going to be a gap in there with the spin-off. And I thought, well, instead of that, I'll just put that spin-off and include an entire series. So the 4th book is actually tentatively titled Universal Chronicles 2094.
now you're not going to do a Star Wars where you start with book 4 and then go into 5 and 6 and then turn around later on, do 1, 2, and 3, and then do 7, 8, 9 afterwards.
Actually,
I did not give him any ideas there. Please,
you give me some good ideas right there. Now I know what to mess with my followers right there. It's like, oh look, where's the other? Where's book 2? I decided to do book 3 right now. You can thank Bill from Another Shot podcast for that. He gave me a
character
idea.
in the book. I want to be a character. I've got to be a character in the book. I mean, if Arlis is going to do the narration for the audiobooks, I want to be at least a character in the book. Hey, don't shake your head.
He's doing it right there. He's saying already, yes, Arlis is doing it. I am saying he's doing it.
I can't. You know what? You know what the best part of that's going to be is hearing him do the different voices for different people. Or is it going to be like the audiobooks for Outland, where it's one dude, and whenever he talks about, when he's doing the female, voice, he just gets soft. That's all he does. I don't know if you guys ever heard any of those books, The Outlander. No?
No.
I got introduced to those books back when I was working for United Van Lines, and he was real good for stopping and getting audio books. So I've actually heard the audiobook version of Fight Club. I've heard the audiobook version of Silence of the Lambs. But yeah, Outlands was a whole series. I think there's some 12 or 13 books to it. They weren't they weren't big books, but they were small paperbacks. They did a small, they did one, it was made for television, but I would listen to that for sure if Bill was in it as a character.
Okay, who said that?
That would be Miss Jan.
Thanks, Jan.
So at the end of the day, would you listen to it or would you read it? Because right now, I just put the idea in his head yesterday to do the audio version of the book.
No, he didn't.
Huh?
No, he didn't.
There's a suggestion he put in his head.
Just slightly. Oh, okay. Interested in hearing writing formulas from Arlis and Dan. Arlis, are you a verse, chorus, verse writer on your lyrics? And then Dan, are you a exposition, rising action, climax, declining action, and resolution writer with your novels? Both those questions from our boy Bobby Ryder.
I'll let Dan take that first. Since he's on a time crunch.
Yeah, I gotta get going here actually. So So I'll answer that question for you. So when it comes to me writing, I'll actually would have to go with the fact that I'm not really so much of an expedition. I like rising action and with the climax at the end, and that's usually how I like writing my books, and that's how I like doing my writing as well. And because you watch an action movie, and you ever watch a movie and you kind of go like, "Oh, this is good. Oh, yes, there's action right there." And next thing you know, they have this really slowed down action scene, and it's okay. Well, it was a good movie, but now it's boring at the end. What? And I don't really like all the expositions on there. So for me, is when I do this, I don't like putting too much expositions. So and I'll be honest, when I was doing my first book, actually, I was putting a lot more science explanations in there. But then my publisher is like, Dan, take out all science explanations. You want this to be a young adults type novel. You want people to actually understand it, not be like, oh, I'm getting lectured on theoretical physics. What? But yeah, no, I end up taking out the expeditions on that. And yeah, and like I said, I like the rise in actions. I like the climax at the end. I like the, just having the, really good action sequence and having a nice little funny moment at the end as well. So it's like, for me, I like adding humor into things too. So when I do my writing, that's how I do it.
I'm interested in seeing if it's TikTok humor, TikTok censored humor.
No, actually, it's not that censored. So
you're saying there's a little bit of rated R in your writing?
Just a little bit, yes.
Okay.
To the point where my publisher had to cut it back a little bit.
So I guess the next question goes to Arlis.
And I gotta get going though. So you have a good day. I'll be back. If you're still on, I'll be back though.
All right, brother. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
For me, it depends on the song. There's some songs and stuff that, the hook comes first, and then I start writing and building upon that. And then there's other times of stuff where songs have just flowed from start to finish, right off the bat. So I guess it just depends on the song, and the inspiration behind it, as far as how I write. Good for the Soul and stuff. I had the hook already ready, and then I built the song around it. Take One Hell of a Woman or Outlaws and Bikers. When I was writing the lyrics for it, I pretty much flowed from start to finish. And then of course there's always some tweaking in that once we, get the music and everything down, because me and Dave sat down together. And a big shout out to Mr. Dave Weilacher. But yeah, we sat down together and then we start hashing out everything. So, we work real well together. And, there's times and stuff, that if he writes something, I'll say, well, this might fit a little bit better here. We go with it. And sometimes he gives me suggestions and stuff, because sometimes, something doesn't flow right. And I, come up with I'm having trouble coming up with an idea. And then Dave says, well, let's try this, and, so like I said, me and Dave both work real well together. Then once we've got it all hashed out, we take it to the guys and everybody adds their own part into it. And that's pretty much how it goes.
So I guess one question I've never actually asked you, does everybody write a song, or does everybody how does everybody chip in other than just the obvious parts, one plays the bass, one plays Matt, does he do lyrics at all?
No.
No,
he comes up with bass lines and stuff like that are just absolutely phenomenal. But he even says, he says, I can't think of, he said he has trouble thinking of, lyrics sometimes. Now Dave's written, a few songs, and wrote the lyrics, but, yeah, generally it's me and him together usually. Um, we had our other guitar player that's not with us anymore. Now he used to write some, lyrics. He's the one that wrote Southbound Train, which was, Mr. Bob Furta. And he wrote Mary Jane. He actually wrote that when he was, a teenager. So he was sitting on that one for quite a long time. But yeah, Bob, other than me and Dave, Bob was the only other one that, wrote lyrics.
Now, I guess another good question would be, a lot of people when they do a lot of bands when they do albums, there's usually a theme to each album. Do you
Right.
do you ever do anything like that, or do you just kind of, I come up, I got a handful of songs I want to put together, and then
we try to keep a flow with each album. Our self-titled album was pretty much a free for all as far as what we put in it. Because I mean that's pretty much what Skinner did when they did Pronounced. They put what was what they wrote at the time. And then later is when they started everything being themed and going with the album. The second album we did which was Outlaws, we geared a lot of the songs towards that title, and that would fit. And this one is actually even more edgier because it is called Outlaws and Bikers, and then it's the first album that we've had. We've actually wrote a title track to the album, and then all the songs that we're putting in this album is all goes within that theme. A lot of rebellion, being a rebel, and again, pretty much every album we do, there's always the patriotic aspect, because we always pay respect to our veterans and our first responders. And this one is no different. Like I said, we have End of Watch that will be on this album, and that one's going to be a real hard hitting one and stuff for all of our first responders.
And I cannot wait to be able to put that on the playlist, brother. I'm going to tell you right now, that is one of my favorite ones. Spoiler alert: the cadence at the beginning, awesome. Cadence, the cadence was at the end.
Well, it's at the beginning and the end. And then the 911 operator is a good friend of mine. She actually is a dispatcher, 911 dispatcher out of Alabama. Her name's Melanie. Been friends with her for a long time. And her fiance, Russell. Great people. And when Dylan wound up coming with me about the idea, I was like, well, I got the perfect person in mind. And that's when I called out. And then he actually got a hold of people there in Oklahoma when he did the surprise ending. No spoiler alerts for everybody, but that actually is from the guys and stuff that do the ceremonies there in Oklahoma City. And that was another reason why we chose August 15th, because it'll be right before, the tragedy that happened in Oklahoma City for the bombing, which, matter of fact, Dylan Cruz was actually there. He was one of the people that one of the EMS people and stuff pulled out of the rubble.
Oh, wow.
So he was there at Oklahoma City. And then we also have it right before 9/11, for, all the, firefighters and EMS and police officers and stuff from New York City and that. So this way, it would be a song and stuff that would definitely be strike a chord for all first responders because we know what it means, and everything, especially the lyrics, are all based around that. And when I originally wrote it, was my captain, his son, when I was a deputy sheriff for Stark County. His son was a rookie for Canton Police Department, and within his first year, he was on a call, and the guy that he was chasing was firing as he was running, and a stray bullet ricocheted up off the ground and went up underneath his vest, and unfortunately, he died on the scene. I happened to be working that night and was there. And that's the reason why it's even more important to, personal to me, because I wrote it, from my own personal experience.
I've always, I, knowing now that, Dylan was actually at the Oklahoma City bombing, I've always liked the idea of wanting to bring people on that was there, like, somebody that was there that saw the towers fall, or, in his case, he was in the building thanking. Just to hear the firsthand experience. But when I get something that surreal, like when Helen Kapoor tour came on that one time, I mean, it kind of takes your breath away. Like, I mean, it was, you hear about it on the news, you see about it on TV, but then, somebody that was right there, it kind of, me, I love to talk, man, and I was at a loss for words. I mean, that put me down.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I have to give a really special shout out to all the guys between Brett Miller that played drums, Mr. Matt Bauer on bass, Mr. Dave Weilocker, our sound engineer and stuff, Mr. Mike Talenka. What they did on that song really brought, my, my vision for the song and stuff. I mean, they actually superseded anything that, I came up with. They all did an amazing job. And then, like I said, with the production value, that was personal to Dylan. And he added his touches to it. And then the help from Melanie from Alabama. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for, that song to come out any better. And I'll tell you what, since we're kind of doing a special night, and we're actually, like I said, celebrating, a World Songwriter Award for Outlaws and Bikers. I did send you that. You got that video that I sent you, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
Well, if you guys want, I'll let you guys go ahead and play it here for everybody to hear for the very first time before anybody does.
I am going to have to go in and get my computer now. I guess I got to share that. Did I already share it to here? What's going on, Nick, buddy?
No, you did not share it to me.
I didn't want to put it on there. That way we didn't mess up it. So I did get it. I've had it now for what, about a month, somewhere around there.
But did he send it to your email?
He sent it to the email.
I have the email.
Well, then pull up the email.
Yeah, I actually had to send it in a WeTransfer, so you might not be able to pull it up. You might have to get it from his transfer.
I want to,
because that was a pretty big file.
Dylan's comment is acknowledged.
I see that. So he said he was in the building next to the O. So I bet you, like, dude, you probably you had to have felt the blast. I mean, can you? Now I want to I almost want to post the link, but shit, I want to know that story. I have to know what that that was in. I think I was what? That was 93 when that happened. Something along those lines. anyways, before we get back into that, you having problems? No, so back to the music aspect of it. You know, it's I both like and get annoyed when bands do this, and Pink Floyd is like most known. Every one of their albums is just one continuation the whole way through. The only breaks you get are like small interludes that tie into the song itself. So, I mean, when it comes, I mean, did you ever consider doing something like that?
No, not really.
I mean, that, to me, that'd be like a pain in the ass, honestly. Like another
Well, you got to
break.
think, with Pink Floyd and stuff. I mean, that's what set them apart from anybody at the time, because nobody did that kind of stuff, and that's the reason why they're still relevant to this day. And then you have a lot of people that have copied them. One thing about us, I mean, we keep the tradition of Southern rock as far as telling a story with our lyrics and our songs. But the music aspect of stuff is definitely, different in our style. And we try to be, us. We don't try to copy anybody else. We kind of do our own thing. And that's the thing is, that makes bands set apart. You take any of the greats, and that's why they're still relevant to this day, because they did their own thing. They didn't try to copy anybody else. They were original, and they did their own thing. Alice Cooper, his stage show and everything else. I mean, he's the master of stage. What he does, I mean, and that's why he's still relevant to this day. AC/DC, the things that they've done, but again, that's why these people are still selling out stadiums, and we're going, what, 40, 50 years later, Rolling Stones, any of them, they did their own thing.
I don't know. I personally, I mean, I've seen other bands, like you said, they were copycats. Tool tried it. I'm trying. There was one other band. It was just like one continuous. I don't know. The other thing that kind of drives me nuts is when they start going into like those 8-minute. I mean, In a Gutter to Beat is like 18 minutes long. But it's got the most memorable guitar, one of the most memorable guitar riffs. So I mean,
nowadays, as an artist, you have to watch. When we write anything, we put anything as far as like the structure of the song, we have to wind up keeping in mind also how long is it, because that also depends on how much radio play you're going to wind up getting. If you have a song that's too long, they're not going to play it.
And I think most radio songs average at 2 minutes 50 seconds, usually 3 minutes at best.
You're up to 4 minutes is like flirting on the line. Anything over 4 minutes, then it really depends on if the radio station loves it, then they're going to play it. But anything past 4 minutes, then it's very, very iffy if they're going to play it or not.
And that's why I tried to explain to people that, in the fact that we go on TikTok now, we do 2 shows a night. It kind of gave us an opportunity. We've always been trying to cut back down to 2-hour shows. We were having a problem, and now that we're doing 2 different shows, it gave us the perfect opportunity to do like an hour-long show, an hour and a half long show at best.
Yeah.
And then, because I got to think, I keep trying to tell everybody that when it comes to, like on Spotify, we want people to listen to it, while they're driving. Most of the stuff I've heard doesn't go over like 5-10 minutes. They'll go in, they'll tell a story, and then it's on to the next one. So I'm trying to bridge that gap and find, but I tell you what, like I said, I mean, I got a whole new respect for you guys, that have been doing this a lot longer than me. It's not easy coming up with content, and I can only imagine how hard it is when it comes time. Okay, well, we're doing another album. Now we're going to come up with songs. So
I got a whole book of crap that I've wrote, so we can pick and choose.
I was just going to ask because, when Prince died and they opened up his vault, what did they say? He could probably do, what, an album a year, I think they said, for the next 10 years? Or something along those lines. I mean, he just...
Yeah, I've got lyrics upon lyrics upon lyrics, and it all depends on, what me and Dave come up with when we sit down. That's like these 3 here. Me and him sat down in one night with 3 hours. We had all 3 songs structured out and done.
So you did those 3 songs? Wow. But you had to have had like a concept in your head before you sat down and penciled it all in, or did you really just sit down and pencil it?
Oh yeah, I had to fix some things and different that, but I had I had the lyrics down. Dave says, I think I got a riff that'll wind up fixing that. And we and him hashed it out. And like I said, literally 3 hours, we had the 3 songs structured out, ready to go, and was bringing them to the guys.
That should be it right there, actually.
Yeah, but it's telling me it expired.
So she just pulled it up.
Yeah, it expired on
Did
June
you click on the
20th.
video? They won't let her.
It expires on the 20th of June. It
Oh,
expires.
no. It is on my other computer, though, downloaded.
That's fine. I just...
Well, shit.
Kat,
Yes.
when we're on break, if you send me your email and I can send it to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've actually gone well past our break. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably one of the best conversations we've had in a while. And that's why I said I don't do interviews anymore. I sit down, we do simple conversation, and then as you're talking, it just starts to come out.
Was there any new comments that we need to answer before we go on break?
No, Bobby Ryder said it was 94 in the spring. He watched it in class in high school.
Yes.
And when he turned around, he said no, it was 95. Dylan said, yeah, he did feel it. Then I don't know because no, we didn't have any other questions.
Okay.
Oh wait, well he says unless you're like me and have the radio version, or unless you have to poop. Remember Arlis, the poop songs. That's from our boy Ninja. Which sounds like we got a we're gonna have to get we'll call it the scoop on that one. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Give Kitty Cat a chance here to try and get caught back up. And would you like to do that one, sweetie? You did due diligence today. If you want to play that one, go for it.
This is our boy Arlis with the Southern Outlaws Band, Outlaws and Bikers. We'll be right back.
You did good.
journey's just begun. As we tell the story, scars show the way. Every mile we conquer, we got our debt to pay. In the face of danger, we never back down. With royalty and honor, we wear our crown. Outlaws and bikers, we ride side by side. They don't understand. We take our pride. Respect for the brotherhood. We stand as one. Underneath the moonlight, our journey's just begun. Outlaws and bikers, we ride side by side. They don't understand. We take our pride. Respect for the brotherhood. We stand as one. Underneath the moonlight, our journey's just begun. So everyone, raise a glass. So here's to the outlaws, the dreamers, the brave. In the heart of the night, we'll ride to the grave. With respect for each other, we'll never fall apart. Outlaws and bikers, forever in our hearts.
It just started raining.
And we are back. Arlis, did you get her message?
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah, the poor girl,
Sorry.
she's been busting her butt trying to get her email to come up. And
Yeah, we might have to do it at a later date, but I'll get it to you, Kat.
Okay.
hey, we got the award-winning song up there right now. And I guarantee I'm going to make a prediction right now. End of Watch is going to be up for awards. It'd have to be. I mean, you guys put a lot of time, effort, heart, soul, the whole. I mean, and if it doesn't get recognized in some way, shape, or form, there's no hope anymore. That's just my personal opinion, but it might be a little biased too.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Uh,
I know, you know, in the first responder community, there's a lot of anticipation for it. So,
Yeah, and that song actually was good because of what happened. And
I'm about to mic him up.
after what happened in Hamilton, that they lost one of their EMTs.
Oh,
yeah, and Idaho just lost 2 firefighters too.
Yeah.
yeah.
So our thoughts and prayers are with all of them.
I've been trying to follow that as best I can. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's almost guaranteed anymore. Once a year, we get something like this. It's just,
Yeah.
So, anyways, you know, since we're talking about music, let's have a little fun. I'm going to give you a GQ type question.
Oh, okay.
What would be, unless, oh, well, okay, we already got that one. Sorry, she cleared everything. And what would be a band or type of music that you listen to or a song you listen to that people might be surprised by?
Let's see. That's a good question. Me and Dave both like Ramstein, Du Hast. That would be a little surprise for a lot of people. I still like a lot of, bluegrass. So my taste is all over the board as far as what I listen to. Although Dave listens to a lot more screwed up crap than I do.
He was telling me some of it, but I mean, him and I kind of have the same taste in music too. Obviously I have favorites. I'm a fan of all music, and
Yeah.
I hate, there's even some of that poppy stuff that I kind of, you can't help it, man. That's got a beat to it. All right.
I know Dave dances. The girls just want to have fun. I've seen him do it.
I want to see that now. Dude, I'll tell you what, some of the stuff that I get requests for, like, it absolutely shocks me.
He knows that song word for word.
What, Barbie Girl? How could you not? Barbie Girl, when it came out by Aqua. Yeah, Aqua.
Oh, no. I mean, even the pitches.
Okay.
He personally.
Again, it was buried in people's heads. I mean, every time you turned on the radio, it didn't matter what station, it was
No,
there.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I'll have to pull the video up for him later.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I heard it on Y108. In
Yeah, it wasn't on my playlist.
So today at
Are we
work,
throwing Blue under the bus or something? Is this what he listens to?
Well, when you got a daughter that wanted you to dance and sing the song with her.
Oh, look! Now we're gonna play that call.
Oh, Cat, there has to be video.
Yes, there is.
There is video.
And the best part is you can actually sing it word for word and tone for tone perfectly.
So I was having fun at work today. We've got Alexa, and I just couldn't help myself. The one dude went over and he literally goes, "Alexa, play Lady Gaga station." And I went, "No, dude, you really are, aren't you?" And he goes, "Why?" I said, "I got the perfect thing for you." I went, "Alexa, play Dancing Queen." And instead it said, "Playing the ABBA radio station." And I tell you what, we were balls to the walls today. And when it started getting into that the disco stuff and the stuff you listen to, like in skating rinks, dude, I could not believe, like, the people in the cars were like kind of moving their heads, and it's just amazing the songs that you don't want to admit you like. When you hear it, you can't help it. It comes out in some way, shape, or form.
I know one song that used to stick in my head all the time, and a lot of people probably won't even know this song, because I mean, we're talking, this is going back to the 60s, is a song called Little Black Egg.
I can't say I've ever heard that one.
Yeah, it's from the Earthworms.
If you want to go back that far, a song that my mother used to play all the time for me that literally sticks in my head, and all you have to do is say song that sticks in your head and it pops into my head. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah. Like I said, they had a lot of weird songs back then, because you got to think in the 60s and stuff. I mean, they were on psychedelic, mushrooms and everything else, and LSD.
Yeah, but even today, I mean, it's always the weird song. Remember when Baby Shark came out? And then they
I
did
hate
like
that
a
song.
version of it. They did. I mean, they did remixes and mixed it into pop. I mean, Baby Shark. What was that one by I can't remember how to pronounce their name. That Swedish duo. What does the fox say?
I think that was that's another one that would add to your question that you gave me. Was another one that I like and listen to is actually Afro Man. I think that guy is a lyrical genius, and what he does, I mean, is just amazing. I love it.
Afro Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? His lyrics are so simple.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, he writes what he knows, and the thing of it is, it's relatable to everybody that listens to it. He's just a genius as far as what he writes. I mean, it's great. I love it.
And it's not even just his lyrics. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal musician too. When he gets out there and does the guitar riffs, he can sit down, like he can play some funk. He really gets into his music.
Yeah.
But he's always going to be known for his goofy rap songs.
Yeah.
And
I think if I would have to collaborate with anybody and stuff, especially to cross genres or anything, I would love to collaborate with him. I think it'd be so much fun.
So why not just reach out to him? I mean, it really couldn't be that hard. You're all in the same industry.
Oh, I just might.
Somebody that knows somebody. No.
Oh, I might. Don't think it hasn't crossed my mind. So
That would be awesome.
But what's fun about Afro Man, I actually got to see him. He used to come to this little bar. Again, I'm going to bring it up, Crossville, Tennessee. And what was the name? I can't even remember the name of it now. It was part dance club, part, it was kind of our version of the Landmark. The women would go into the bathroom and come out pregnant. It was a real interesting. But the owner had all sorts of connections. And since Afro Man was well known for coming into like Memphis, Nashville, and doing some of those other areas, he would make the connection and he would actually come and do a 1-hour show at this small club, small bar, honestly. So I don't know. It kind of it's amazing anymore. I brought it up a million times. You used to go to the bar to see the band. So I'm sure, you go. When you first started going to the bar, let's say legally, when you hit the age, was there like a specific band you would follow or?
No, because I mean, when I became 21, it was no big deal going to a bar at that point. I grew up at a different age,
Right.
So, I was playing music in bars ever since I was, let's see, 13, 14 years old.
Now, Brett's kind of in the same boat, though, isn't he? Whereas he's at the age, but he's going into 21 and older bars, but he can go in as a band member.
Yeah. Yeah, he's he's just turned 19. And the funny thing is, like I said, me and his dad went to school together. Me and him, we were close friends, during school, and it's kind of like a full circle thing, now all of a sudden having his son playing, with us and hanging out and stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool. But I'll tell you, he's a really good kid. Kid don't smoke, he don't drink. He's all about the music. Fantastic kid. I mean, yeah,
Well,
big props.
It's kind of like when we came over that one night for your jam session. You guys were just playing songs for him, and he could sit down and kind of just listen to the beat, and he'd pick up on it so fast.
Yeah.
And it made me think of all these, these other podcasts that are out there. Like there's one where they'll have like Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
They had John Stamos because he plays drums. all these guys will sit down and they'll just play songs, but without the drum beat. So all they're hearing is the lyrics and the music, no drum beat, and these guys have to try and play along with it. And that's the first thing I thought of when I saw you guys like showing him, here's the song here, just listen to it. And within the first, like, you know, he'd hear it like 1 or 2 times and he already had it down. So
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't use the term very lightly, but the kid is a prodigy. I mean, he's definitely the future of, rock and roll. There's no doubt about it. That kid's got a big future ahead of him.
now he's in multiple bands though, isn't he? Like he's in the Huck and Philbillies,
Right.
and then there's another one.
He's actually in an original project. They're up. Most of those guys are out of Cleveland, and they're working on some stuff now. When he's with the Huck and Philbillies and stuff, they just do covers. They don't do any originals or anything. But yeah, Brett just does an amazing job. That's one thing about a band is your drummer and your bass player are the backbone of the band. And Matt and Brett work so amazing together, as far as the power and the drive, with Outlaws and Bikers and everything. And the thing of it is when we were in the studio and he came up with his own idea, he says, you mind if I put some cowbell in there and stuff? He says, I've got this like Mississippi Queen vibe going on here. It's like, hell yeah, let's do it. So yeah, he's got very good instincts and, and everything. It's just amazing, to watch the kid work. And like me and Dave, we, and Matt, we've been in, doing this for a very long time. So we've worked with so many different people, and to see a kid at his age, and I mean, he's working with, like he's got 30 years underneath him and the kid's only 19.
Super respectful to boot. I mean, it's just.
Oh yeah.
Kat, you're gonna love him. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna get to meet him Thursday.
We met him.
Oh, did you meet him when? That's right. You guys would go over there that day.
Yeah, when it rained out.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. I was having such a bad day. I really was. Things were going sideways. I had literally just got in the car. She tries to call me. I no sooner turned on the key, and I hit skip so I could pull up the address. And I no sooner put it in drive. I was getting ready to call her back. She calls me and she says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm heading over." She goes, "Don't bother." And I was kind of, that was kind of a.
In a way and stuff, I think it kind of worked out, better. I mean, and I feel bad that, Kat and them drove all the way over there and it got canceled. But I think the weather for this Thursday, it's actually supposed to be really nice. The humidity is supposed to be low. Still going to be, relatively warm. It's going to be in the 80s, but it'll still be nice for everybody that'll be there. So, like I said, I think, it's going to be a nice day overall.
Now, this one starts at 5, though, correct? Not 6?
6. It starts at 6.
It's still at 6. Okay,
yeah.
Because obviously Sarah wants to go. I mean, she's got the 4th off. So, last time Connor would not have been able to come because he was sick. He was running like 101, 102 temp. He was in bad shape. So the fact that I kind of fell into place, like the it getting canceled, like you said, worked out for everybody. And the fact that was it you that said it was at 5 or was it you yesterday? One of these two told me 5.
No, it's 6. Although we'll be there early, but
so. I plan on doing the same thing. I plan on trying to come over a little bit early. And then Sarah and everybody will come over a little later on. And
but I would like to say thank you, Kat and Blue, and thank you to your kids who did show up that day, you know, even though it got canceled. But we really appreciate it. That meant a lot.
I was on the way.
I felt really, really bad for not going back with you to hang out for Sandy's birthday, but there's no way those kids would have withstood being somewhere for too
Well, the
long.
thing of it
without-
is all of her grandkids were there and stuff too, so they'd had other kids to hang out with.
Elizabeth and Riley would have been fine. Christian, on the other hand, would have been asking every 10 minutes, "Are we going yet? Are we going yet? Are we going yet?" Because I don't normally get him out of the house, and to get him out of the house, I convinced him. I had earphones for him, headset for him, and I convinced him, "I'm going to feed you wings." And he said, "Wings? Where are we going?" I said, "I will feed you wings as long as you stay and listen to my friends play their music."
In other words, she bribed that poor kid. That's what I like to hear.
And then there's a reward behind it.
He didn't even eat wings.
That's horrible. Nah, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. I've actually got Thursday and Friday off, so I'm gonna be.
I got lucky. I got Thursday off. I was trying to figure out how I can be in two places at one time, though.
Oh, that's right. Shoot. I was just getting ready to
Arlis,
say.
you remember my friend I told you about?
Yeah.
Luke here, from Grove City. He's playing. He's home. He comes home every July, and he's home, and he's playing a free concert in Greenville the same night.
Well, if you can't make it, it's totally understandable.
Oh no, it's a house divided. I've already been told we are coming to see you. It's Joe Ellen's birthday. We're gonna come celebrate her birthday since we couldn't celebrate Sandy's.
Well, we had to make up for Sandy's too, and Brett had a birthday at the same time. So like, kind of like
Yeah.
January, everybody's birthday like is conglomerated into one. Now it seems like June is your end, so to say. Are we going to hear any new? Now you're going to do Outlaws and Bikers, right?
Yes.
Bobby, if you're still on here, brother, I mean, you weren't. You never did get back to me about the last time. Are you going to try and make this one? We'll be watching the messages for that response.
But yeah, we are going to be doing Outlaws and Bikers.
I can't wait, dude. And then one more time, when are the dates you're going to debut the next two?
July 18th.
Let him answer, because how many other people might have just come on?
No, I'm glad she helped me out.
This is the thing. He asked me at the beginning when you asked him the same question. Am I right on this date? Yes. Or
Dude, if you've seen the face, okay, I got that July, and I got the eyes and the head bob and everything.
Yep. July 18th is all I got is Time and Beer. And then August 15th is End of Watch.
I need to catch up with the times because, I mean, they don't do CDs anymore. So the only way to get albums is if you get like Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, Amazon Prime. I'm assuming that's going to be on all of them, isn't it?
Yeah. Anytime we put a release out, it goes worldwide and it is on all streaming platforms. Some of them that I'm not even familiar with myself.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I guess there's another question.
Sandy is still working on that.
All right.
So I got good hearing. I heard it.
I just need a date because I got to put it for work because I literally am scheduled every weekend in July, and I will switch somebody to be there.
Yeah, as soon as she finds out and lets me know and stuff, I'll make sure you guys know.
That's the weekend that we are definitely not missing.
Yeah, I know with them they've had a lot of things going on and stuff, and I know, of course we have too. So they're supposed to be getting back with her soon. So as soon as they do and everything's locked down and stuff, yeah, we will be letting you know, because I know they are working on that, and Sandy's been in touch with them. So
Of course, let's not forget too. You still have Web City coming up too, don't you?
yeah, but that might wind up getting switched actually, because they're having some problems over there.
Boy,
I
that's
don't
not
know. It has something to do with Hope for 22 a day, and they're having some issues and stuff coordinating everything, and so that actually might be getting pushed back.
I tell you what, this is a weird year for concerts or get-togethers or anything.
Yeah.
Like the famous June 21st. That
Well,
got
a lot of it and stuff has to do with in that area, Oklahoma and Missouri and all them. They've been getting a lot of storms lately, and I think that's having a lot to do with a lot of it.
I know. I guess it stormed pretty bad at the Butler Fair Monday night. I mean, they were starting to wonder whether or not they were going to cancel that show.
When they had a concert at Blossom Music Center not too long ago, they had a whole crowd of people and stuff there and had to evacuate because tornado warning went off.
Speaking of, that kind of reminded me. So, did you hear there's a new member of the Grand Ole Opry? Quick shout out. And it's a country singer that I'm actually really starting to follow a lot of. I really like his stuff. Luke Combs.
Yeah, actually, he got inducted and stuff. I'm wanting to say it's been maybe about 4 months ago when they invited him then into the Grand Ole Opry.
I thought that was that's kind of cool. And he's one of the newer artists. I think he's only maybe 1 year old.
Yeah.
Mainstream, at least. I know he's got a lot of stuff like early on that I have not got to hear, but yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot of bands coming out that's like renewing my like of country music. It's actually getting kind of fun again. I still say the best era of country music was the 90s. That's when it exploded. People like Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, Billy Ray Cyrus kind of helped usher that in.
No,
Tucker.
Don't add him into it.
The Judds. Come on, he gave us Miley Cyrus. We love her.
Oh, her, yeah. I'm sorry, but I cannot stand Achy Breaky Heart. I hate that song.
For a while,
No offense to him. I know it made him, I put him on the map, but oh my God, that song just is one of those songs that gets underneath my skin. Yeah, no offense to him, but yeah, I cannot stand that song. I think it's because they played it to death. But
definitely.
I actually go back a little bit further than that, because to me and stuff, what really to me hit big was when the Kentucky Headhunters hit the scene, and that was within the late 80s.
Of course, Alabama really kind of mainstreamed. I feel mainstream country music.
Yeah, those guys are phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, what they did in a lot of their songs, I mean, they've got a library of hits, that topped the charts, back then, then and everything that was in there. But, you also had the Oak Ridge Boys, at the time that Alabama came out. And, you had a lot of them like that. But the Kentucky Headhunters actually changed it because they really introduced the rockabilly style, and which was, pretty much, Southern rock, what we do, into country music. And I mean, those guys were groundbreaking at the time. I mean, nobody was doing that in country music back in the late 80s and early 90s. So they really changed the landscape and stuff of what country music can wind up doing, in my opinion. To me, those guys are icons, pioneers of what they do, because there was nobody else doing what they did.
Speaking of 80s, though, I still say it. One of my favorites is the Highwaymen, one of the original
Oh yeah.
super groups.
Well, you had icons there.
I mean, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson.
Yep, and Willie's the only one left,
Yeah,
and he's not been doing too good.
I still drink the Whistler though. I'm sorry, Chris Christopherson.
Actually, I miss him. He was a good friend, and we always had good conversations. You know, especially about writing music and different things. We were good friends, and I miss those conversations.
I think his acting, though, in all the movies he did, kind of overshadowed his country music, though. He had some great hits. He was really good.
Well, the thing of it is, he was a songwriter before he ever started doing his own stuff. It was actually the influence of Johnny Cash and Waylon and Willie that actually got him into start singing his own thing, his own music, because he was writing music for other artists for years. He was a staple songwriter, and it was them, that really talked him in to start doing his own thing, own music and getting him out there, because he never really wanted to be, the one. He just liked writing music. And, when he started doing his own thing, then that's when the movie deals started to come along. And they said, you know what, you're a character in yourself. And he says, I don't got no damn acting experience. He said, what the hell was I supposed to do, But yeah, he was such a really interesting person to talk to, and I'll miss him. But yeah, and that's why he had no problem when they put the Highwaymen together, because those guys were the ones that, basically spearheaded his start in singing his own stuff. So, but yeah, you got ones that are out there that have wrote so many different songs for people that people don't really realize that they're the ones that wrote it. Between him, Willie Nelson, he's wrote songs for all kinds of people. Dolly Parton's another one. She's wrote, so many songs for other artists. Matter of fact, the one that Whitney Houston wound up making famous, Elvis Presley, it was the Colonel actually that approached her and wanted to buy the song off of her. And she says, well, I'll let him do it and stuff, but I'm not going to sell it to him. And they wouldn't do it. Now later, Elvis found out about that, and she wound up letting him sing it and stuff, but he was very upset that the Colonel, tried to basically, take that song away from her. And she wouldn't go for it, buddy. She's a very very strong woman when it comes to, she puts her mind to it. And she put her foot down. She said, nope. She says, I'll let them do it, but I'm not going to sell you the song and sell over the rights to it. And she's just an amazing person, though. I mean, but she has wrote so many songs for so many people. And I love the new version of Home Sweet Home that she did with Motley Crue. I thought she did a great job. I thought it was awesome at her age and stuff, rocking out with Motley Crue. I think it's awesome. So yeah, cheers to Dolly.
Well, in all honesty, I mean, there's nothing that woman hasn't done that hasn't been just turned to gold.
Oh yeah.
Well, she did that song just a couple years ago. She debuted on the ACMs. Or what was that? The Academy of Country Music Awards. And it was she considered that was her first rock song. Where what is it? World on Fire, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, I mean, it just, her music, her acting, everything she's done. I mean, you can just tell she is just, she puts her heart and soul into everything.
Oh
And
yeah,
she's adorable.
she's just an
to boot.
amazing. Oh yeah, I love how she just got a no holds barred personality, and says she's got she's kind of like us. We have no filter, so we say whatever's on our mind. We don't care, you know. Um, but yeah, she's just amazing.
It's really fun, when you see her and Kenny Rogers on stage. Now, obviously, both are very big. They're very religious, very church going. She's always stayed clean. Now, she's towed the line. She's had fun with stuff, but thank you. But I think it was always fun to see her on stage with Kenny Rogers because she can embarrass that man like no other. And you could see it. Like she's always that real. She's that outgoing, flirtatious, and he was kind of like that quiet, conservative. I just let my music do the talking guy. So I always like seeing those two, get together. They did what was it, Island in the Sun?
Island in the Stream.
Oh yeah, okay. I was close. I was there, but that I Will Always Love You. I never knew. I always thought that was Whitney Houston. It was years later when I found out that Dolly Parton originally did that. And in my opinion, if they were to do it again, there's one voice I would love to hear sing that song. And I think she could knock it out of the park. And she'd be better than Whitney and probably be better than Dolly. And that would be Reba McEntire. I think that woman could absolutely just kill that song. Again, it's a personal opinion, but when it comes to country female artists, Reba's like on my, she, as they like to say now, she would be on my Mount Rushmore.
Now, see, when it comes to male vocalists, when it comes to country, to me, one of the top ones that I would put up there was always Conway Twitty.
I thought he was good. Randy Travis was another good one. Very distinct.
I liked a lot of those guys back then. I mean, from Roy Orbison, I just thought, those guys were amazing. Conway and stuff, just, his vocal range and stuff was very, large. He just did an amazing job. I used to do one of his songs and stuff when I was younger and stuff. I used to do Only Make Believe.
I don't know if I know that one. Oh, well, Cat's getting ready to pull it up.
People see us everywhere. They think you really care.
Oh, I got him to sing on my show.
But myself, I can't see. I know it's only make believe. My one and only prayer is that someday you care.
That sounds like Elvis.
That's Conway.
That's Conway.
Yeah, I used to do that one, and I used to do another one of his. I talked to the man in the moon. I said, "Sir, is she coming back soon?"
I'm going to have to go back on my stuff, honestly, because when I think of Conway Twitty, I think of tight-fitting jeans.
Yeah. Or Hello, Darling.
Or, yeah, Hello, Darling.
He's one of the few that I've seen in concert.
Honestly, I've
Conway
never...
Twitty,
So did I do okay, Kat?
Yes. I still want you to record that saying for me and send it to me.
Dude, you're just gonna have to like come up with do the hello, darling.
Oh yeah.
A few others, just some
How
like
you doing?
small, and just send it as an MP4 to her.
Yeah,
I'm
that
telling
would
you.
be. Mhm.
You'd be doing Blue a favor.
Yeah.
She said, "Yeah." Dude, you can see how red her face is right now. Oh, that's priceless. So yeah, what do you think, girl? I think we've hit that part.
So I did see Billy Ray Cyrus in concert.
That's how the Edwards voice.
And Billy Ray Cyrus in concert, and I was young, and I was very stupid because I took him a rose, and of course on the rose it had a little card, said #1 fan. It had my name, my phone number, my address, and I was actually able to hand it to him, and he took it out of my hands, and then he threw it into the crowd.
I'm sorry that happened.
I did not get any phone calls, so I'm good.
Yeah,
Kenny Rogers.
he could have done a Nick Carter where remember when Nick Carter did that show, that reality show, and he would put on the ticker his phone number at the bottom just to see who all would the whole publicity stunt. The thing about Billy Ray, when you say Billy Ray Cyrus, the first thing that comes to mind, since you brought it back up, is Achy Breaky Heart. He did an amazing version. I thought it was really well. I'm not gonna say amazing, but it was a really good. These boots are made for walking. I thought he did a good version of that, and then he also did that song that it was Dolly Parton. I want to say Tanya Tucker, and I'm trying to remember who the other woman was. There was 3 of them, and the song was called Romeo, and he sang in it for a little. He did a couple small parts in it. So maybe he was a little more, And then, of course, we all know about Old Town Road, rap song that came out that he had Billy Ray Cyrus come out and sing on. What the hell was the name of that dude? The rap star. Anyways, I don't know. I think he found more success as a, kind of somebody that sang with more so that, because, Achy Breaky Heart, he never followed up with that. His second album bombed, and, he went into obscurity as a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, like I said, they just played that song to death, and I think that's the reason why I don't like it so much. But
Dolly Parton, Tanya Tucker, and Kathy Mattea.
Kathy Mattea. That was, yeah. Have you ever heard that one? It's actually really good.
But then again, a lot of those songs and stuff, we, as getting started, all of us have done, playing just covers, when we got started. And I think that's one song and stuff that people requested like 3 or 4 times a night, and it just got, yeah, you learn to hate it real quick because of that. But it is cool to, reminisce on songs and stuff that you used to do when you first got started. The very first song that I ever did when I actually was brought up on stage when I was 4 years old with my grandfather and other bluegrass musicians, and I wound up doing Blue Moon in Kentucky.
Blue Moon, and what was the other one?
That was the only song I did with them, and that was I was just a wee little kid at that time. But yeah, I've been performing and stuff, like I said, in front of people, ever since I was little.
I've always, I was always that guy. I had to be drunk just to do karaoke. When you really don't care, how you sound. You think you sound like a rock star. It wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago when I was trying to get a little something going with my buddy Kurt, and they got me behind the mic, and I've actually got to sing on stage with my friends that do the intent. So I don't know. I keep thinking to myself, like, at 45, can I, if I really wanted to try and pursue that aspect of it, I've got a long ways to go, and I guess a good way to say it is a short time to get there.
Arlis, was it the Bluegrass Boys and Bill Monroe version?
Yeah. Actually, the band that he had back then, and they were on the radio and everything, was the West Virginia Travelers. My grandfather was the one that played the mandolin. And Jerry Douglas, that is now 12-time Grammy winner, dobro player. His dad was the one that played the acoustic guitar in that band. And a lot of people, I grew up with Jerry. And matter of fact, if anybody is fans of the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, the guy that plays the dobro on that and on the tracks with Union Station is Jerry Douglas.
I have seen that movie. That is actually one of my favorite movies. And it was so, I never imagined George Clooney doing something like that. But then you got to remember the man did, Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Only one guy out of that whole thing actually does sing out of those three, and it was the little guy.
Yeah, he turned the guy that did Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, he actually does sing.
Dude, he's another multi-talented. I'd heard that. I don't think I've ever heard, other than watching the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. That's the only time I ever heard him sing. Now, my question is, though, on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, in the Jailhouse Again, he sings. Now, was that actually him singing that, or was that
was actually him singing it?
Now, here's another question. Were you one of the ones that thought that was George Clooney singing?
No.
You knew ahead of time.
I knew ahead of time because I knew the guy and stuff that actually does the singing for it. But I will say one thing. George Clooney, I will give him props. That was the best lip singing I've ever seen anybody do. Because he really made it believable that he was singing it.
That whole movie.
So, yeah, I give him props. I mean, he did an amazing job.
And you know what I really like about that movie? People don't realize it was actually based off of the Odyssey.
Really? I didn't know that part, but.
Oh yeah. So John Goodman's character with the patch.
Yeah.
He was the Cyclops. It was remember that the Odyssey was about a man, Odysseus, was trying to get back to his wife. He got sent off to war, and he was trying to get back after the adventures. And there was, the whole thing with the suitors. They remember that his daughter kept saying he's a suitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Goodman was the Cyclops. The three women by the river, they were the sirens. So I mean, it was all it was loosely based off of the Odyssey.
Yeah.
There's a little useless movie trivia for you.
That and Alison Krauss, she was one of the singers that was on that track.
Now, see, I've never heard the whole soundtrack. I've always been stuck right at just that song.
Yeah.
Man of Constant Sorrow. And, I mean, that's even one that I still play even today, just, to fill a spot. Speaking of songs and, live and all that. So, Kitty Cat, did I tell you when I was last at All Stars, I got on Dan's Live. And Arlis was on there. And Dan kept sending me the request. And I finally say I'm DJing. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'll go ahead and go on there. Never go on. The very next song, as soon as I get on there, one song finishes. And the very next song, I did a Wheeler Walker Jr. song.
I knew it right off the bat. It was like mute.
Was the song. And after the first 10, 15 seconds, Arlis goes, all right, I'm going to be a moderator. I'm going to have to mute this. And then he had to go in and explain why. And then it never dawned on
Dan had no idea. Dan had no idea. He never heard of him. It's like, oh, yeah, I listen to the guy. I know his lyrics. Trust me, if there's anything that's going to get you banned on TikTok, yeah, it's Wheeler Walker Jr. Yeah, that's going to get you banned real quick. No doubt about it.
That was hilarious. That was so much fun that night. And then I couldn't quit laughing. Everybody's looking at me like I'm an idiot because I'm watching my phone and laughing as you're, explaining to him. And then, of course, I got a whole bar full of people just like singing right along with the song. I mean, who knows? That could have been epic. Maybe it would have been just low enough that TikTok might not have picked up on it.
Oh, yeah, they would have picked up on it. I picked up on it. Ninja was laughing his ass off, But, yeah, I knew right off the bat.
And it wasn't done intentionally. It really wasn't.
Another one for you is Jackson Taylor.
I think I've got a couple of his stuff on there.
If you want to wind up when you're DJing, you want to get the crowd going, do the Whiskey Drinking Song by Jackson Taylor.
I've got a Whiskey Drinking by Michael Knight.
No, you need to listen to Jackson Taylor's.
Whiskey Drinking son of a bitch. That one?
No. Trust me. You need to look it up. Look up Jackson Taylor and look up the Whiskey Drinking Song.
I love when people go, no, trust me.
All right, my all-time favorite, is the rodeo song.
Oh, the rodeo oh shit! Why can't I think of the name of the singer? You know what? I've got the original, and I've also got dude. That song's been mixed to death. People turn around.
That song is old. It's actually, I think it goes back to like the 70s when that was first done. Believe it or not.
See, when I hear stuff like that, I think back to like, remember when the radio, early morning radio, they always had fun. Like we had DVE, and they would do like Bob and Tom, and you'd hear the Scotsman song, the Prison Bitch song. I mean, all these different, So when I heard rodeo,
or the man, they used to do, Bob and Tom used to do the man song all the time.
Oh my God. Well, what is it? The second week of deer camp. I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is stuff you don't hear anymore.
I'm always the boss of my house when you're not around.
Right.
You don't want no part of this shit right here.
Now what are you looking up?
Jackson fucking Taylor. It takes all your good thoughts.
She's actually looking up your song right now.
Oh, Jackson Taylor?
Yeah. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, did you when you came out to the oil boom that one night, I think you might have requested that. And you said it's the crowd going.
I might have. That's it.
Yeah. Wait, either we have really good mics or something's like, it's kicking tonight.
All I have to do is hear those first few notes, and I know if it is or not.
I tell you what, if you really wanted to be mean, and if we had set it up properly, can you imagine if I could play drop out my real Walker on Dan's show that night?
Oh
That
shit!
would have been fun. Because I mean, technically, I think that's one of the few songs he does where he doesn't drop like the F-bomb and a lot of the more vulgar. But he gives you every which way to.
I had the one that had the lyrics on the dang. Holy heck, Arlis.
I told you.
The lyrics to it. Again, I'm blushing. Yeah.
I don't know.
You
Blue,
don't play that on accident. Don't let me play that on accident with our next. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get in trouble.
It's like it's like my friend Gary used to say. He's got a wife, now he needs a girlfriend. So, Kat's got a husband. I guess she's looking for a boyfriend. Smile. So, anyways, guys, I tell you what though, this was fun. Let's go ahead and let's do our last shots of the night, because I tell you what, come 11 o'clock, trust me, my phone, I've been calling it the bar phone. And she always does when I'm on TikTok. Sarah, especially since I started this new job, I'm literally like, 5 days in now? Today is day 5. Yeah, she's making sure I don't go back to my old ways out here.
Okay, are we switching to TikTok after this?
Yeah, I'm gonna switch up.
All right. I'll kick over there too.
I mean, she likes doing this, but she likes the energy on TikTok. She likes. I mean, you never know. We get people pop in all the time.
I'll share when I get over there. I'll share it to a bunch of people that I know too.
But I don't. Artists, I'm going to show you real quick. I don't think it's going to be done tonight.
It usually takes a while for those bottles to drain down in that.
Well, I even went ahead and I was digging down in with a knife, and then she's like, "You don't have to go down that far." And I'm like, "Well, I was doing it for a reason, but I."
Nah, usually only about halfway, but yeah, it takes usually it takes overnight and stuff for those bottles to drain down in it, but it will drain down in it.
This will be ready for us to bring with us.
Oh yeah, it's kind of, trust me. See, you made the comment. You're gonna try a piece of this. Remember, we got coconut rum, white rum, and spiced rum.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good one. I was gonna ask you what combination of crap you were putting in it.
Know you. Oh, that was my bad.
Now, see, we used to wind up putting 151 rum in it.
Oh, you know how hard it is to find that now?
It's very hard to find.
Oh man, we used to have a lot of fun with 151.
Yeah, we used to make hot peach pies out of those. Have you ever had that?
I have.
The flaming Dr. Pepper, the flaming Dr. Peppers, all that was made with 151 rum because it was something that was strong enough to be able to light on fire.
You know what's really fun? We tried this the one night. I don't know if you were watching, but me and Steve thought, let's try and do flaming shots one night. And, we tried the Maker's Mark because it's got the highest. It's 90 proof. Did they put something in liquor now?
No, it's just not strong enough.
Because I used to be able to do it with
you need something that's over 100 proof before it'll wind up lighting.
Sorry.
Yeah, usually it's over 100 proof. Like if you get the any of the barrel strength bourbons or anything like that, oh yeah, you could set those on fire.
Oh, real quick before we go. So we did this obviously you know, you can buy Fireball whiskey now, right? Do you know
Yeah.
what the original recipe for Fireball was? It was actually a drink. And it went in a shooter glass.
No.
It was cinnamon whiskey and hot sauce.
Okay. I could see that.
It was 2/3 cinnamon whiskey, 1/3 hot sauce. And if I tell you what, if you ever try that, dude, God bless you in the morning. I'll tell you right now. Even back when I was in my prime, that one puts a hurting on you. Everything I tried to eat the next day, like as soon as it would hit my stomach, it felt like it was boiling.
Well, I used to go to this one bar and they used to do these shots called a Red Rooster. I don't recommend them. They're a series of 3 shots. I have to look it all up for you and send it over to you. Me now, they used to laugh at me because see, I don't like tomato juice at all, and that's one of the shots that's in this series that they call a Red Rooster. So I used to chase the whole thing down with a shot of bourbon. So I used to call it the Kentucky Fried Red Rooster.
Nice.
But no, I'll tell you right now, I did a series of those, and yeah, that was a painful morning.
So sorry about that. I thought I told you. When I was at the liquor store, I went ahead and I actually got the ingredients. So when we go on TikTok, I don't have margarita glasses, but I'm going to make an attempt at that raspberry margarita you were talking about. Now, obviously, Kat doesn't get to try it because her and tequila don't get along at all.
Well, you could swap out the tequila for a rum and almost make it like a daiquiri.
Rooster tail shots. 1 shot Jose Cuervo, 1 shot orange juice, 1 shot tomato juice.
Ooh,
that's it.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. Like the tomato and the orange juice.
Yeah, see, I just don't like tomato juice. So that's why I chased all 3 shots down with a shot of bourbon.
You know what? For Wednesday night, girl, if you
try that one.
If you can give me some tomato juice somehow. Do you have tomato juice?
Yeah.
Bring me some tomato
I
juice.
created my own line with that and call it a Kentucky Fried Rooster.
I think I can. You know what? That's one thing I'm going to post this, and then we'll do our last shots. I want people just to give me like random, off the wall, not recipes, but just kind of like, for instance, if I was to ask the question, and then you turn around and you would say, okay, tequila, tomato juice, and this. Just give me 3 ingredients, and let's see what I can come up with. But it has to be 3 ingredients you're not very fond of, and then the challenge is going to be, can I make something that you might possibly like? Because I think, especially when you're mixing liquors with regular juices, you can nullify. You really can. Now, there's certain ones you really can't do anything with. Like, Jack is going to be very distinct. Tequila is another hard one. You're always going to taste the tequila. Jack, you'll always taste the Jack. But there's other stuff out there. And I will be bringing a book. You're going to have to check it out. I think you'd really appreciate it. It's whiskeys from around the world. So after we talked the other night, after I went in and I was doing my chill mode, I got out the book and was kind of reading on it. I'm like, man.
Well, that's like I showed you that bottle with stuff that was from Africa that I've got.
Yeah. See, the one thing, I collect the big bottles. This gentleman right here likes to collect little bottles.
Yeah.
Why is that? What is it about the little bottle? Is it?
I don't know. It's just something, I've always done. Anywhere we go and I find a little bottle of bourbon, of something that I don't have, or that I like, I've always grabbed it and put it on my, shelf. So I've got all of them. And I've actually got all the Jack Daniels, and they're in the glass bottles. And I've actually got one of them that is very rare because, see, Gentleman Jack, when it first came out, the bottle was actually shaped was round, and it all had edges on it.
Okay.
Okay. It wasn't the bottle that you normally see today when you see Gentleman Jack.
Right.
That's not the original bottling that they did. And I actually have a little bottle of the Gentleman Jack the way it was originally bottled.
What Gentleman Jack you get today it's a very slim bottle, is it not?
It's like slim. It's almost like the Woodford Reserve bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you know what? How much fun would it be, Kitty Cat? We could do this sometime, and you could be involved in this as well. We need to make a mini bar.
But you got to see my gold medal bottle that I had from Belgium. Of course, I drank all of it, but
And he did give me a small sample of Blanton's, and now I am hooked. I will say this though, surprisingly, if I was to pick between Buffalo Trace and Blanton's, I'd probably be more prone to want to get Buffalo Trace. I kind of like that one a little better.
yeah, Buffalo Trace is a good bourbon. Yeah, that it is. But it all comes from the same distillery. And the one that makes the granddaddy of them all, Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve 23-year, which right now runs about $10,000 a bottle. And they only produce about 100 bottles a year.
Well, I tell you what, once I get a little bit of money built up, trust me, I've seen some today that they're up there, but I want to try them.
Yeah, I've had the Taylors. I've had the, the Eagle Rare. I've had all those.
All right, girl. If you want to know what's going on behind the scenes, she's watching the ticker and she's going like this. And right now she's getting ready to go boop. So,
yes, we are now on the countdown. So say our last shots.
All right. Before the boss gets mad at me. She loves you, but she'll get mad at me. So at the end of the day, guys, Arlis, you want to go ahead and give us our last shot?
Let's see.
Dude,
Always take the one that's close to you. Hold them near to your heart, because those are the ones that are going to be your ride and die all the way to the grave. To our good friends, to good music, because it's always good for the soul.
I love it. Kitty Cat, you got one? She's looking one up. While she's looking it up, guys, this was our Monday Night Bartender. I want to thank Arlis for coming on. Dan, I'm sure he'll pop on TikTok here in the next round. It was good seeing him for as long as he was on. Wednesday night, so this is our 5-night show. Tomorrow night is our Trina's Trivia. We need competitors, guys, because after this,
Cat, I will try. I promise. Maybe I'll get Michelle involved in it.
Oh, there you go.
That would be sweet.
Now hit up Sammy and Dave. See if they want to.
They're at camp.
Oh, that's right.
They'll be back on. They're coming back on Wednesday.
So Tuesday night, guys, mark your calendars. Trina's Trivia, the last round before the Tournament of Champions. I got some talking to do with Kat. because I'm going to try and convince her to be in my seat for this one, since I am not going to be competing in this round. Wednesday night is our Wednesday night open bar, open talk, guys. Leave the drama at the door, but you can still come in and have some fun with us. Thursday nights are thoughts and shots. And then, of course, we've got Sunday night, our Sunday night weekend hangover. This one's going to be a true one. I can almost guarantee it. Kitty Cat, what you got for a last shot, girl?
12 things to always remember. Number 1, the past cannot be changed. Number 2, opinions don't define your reality. 3, everyone's journey is different. Number 4, things always get better with time. Number 5, judgments are a confession of character. Number 6, overthinking will lead to sadness.
Oh.
Number 7, happiness is found within. Number 8, positive thoughts create positive things. Number 9, smiles are contagious. Number 10, kindness is free. Number 11, you only fail if you quit. And number 12, what goes around comes around.
Nice. Of course, that would be the number 12. That's better than the 12 days of Christmas. I like that. I'll take that back.
No, you won't.
Oh. So my final shot of the night, it's one of my, I very rarely do toast. And since that seems to be the theme tonight, I'm going to give one of my favorite Irish toasts. There are good ships, there are wood ships. There are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. Cheers. So on that note, guys, almost did it. Guys, thanks for coming on. Arlis, always good seeing you, brother. I really appreciate you coming on. For all of you on TikTok, looking forward to seeing you. You know the next one is cleaner, but definitely going to be high energy. I gave you some spoilers. Help me out, brother. I want your least favorite liquids, drinks. And then Kitty Cat will write them down, and I'm going to do some shopping, and we're going to see if I can make them good. But guys, on that note, we got a comment. Let's hit that last one. Dan says cheers.
Cheers, Dan.
Oh, that dude's sneaky. Oh, he's a good dude, and I want to thank you for introducing me to him. Really cool guy.
Anytime.
So on that note, guys, hope you enjoyed. But always remember, everything we say on this show is just our opinion. But then again, Kitty Cat, give us 1-900.
Could just be the alcohol.
Oof. Had to drink on that one. Cheers, guys. We will see you later.
Next.
Thank you for stopping in and listening to the Another Shot podcast. We shared some drinks, stories, and laughs. But it's time to say goodnight. Join us next time on Another Shot podcast.
If you're looking for a party, then man, have you found it? Now the shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Now the shot is gonna hit you with the mind overloading. The bar is always open, but you're in a bitch, and there's another shot.